Let's talk about your quadriceps. To myofascial release for your quadriceps, you can either use a stick or a foam roller. Remember, when we're doing myofascial release, you're always going to be rolling over the meaty part of the area, not over the bony part. So no joints here, only muscles. Quadriceps are located in the front of your upper thigh, and quad means 4. You actually have 4 muscles in your quadricep. So as you're rolling up and down, you're going to kind of turn the legs so that you get a little bit of the side. Then you're going to come to the front and to the other side. You can apply as much pressure as you wish when using the stick. Okay? If you find any areas that are triggering for you, you're just going to take some short passes over that area, maybe dig in a little deeper, and then move away from it and come back. And you should notice that that sensation starts to dissipate a little bit. If it doesn't, I would maybe try one more time. So 3 times total, see if you can work it out. If not, just let it go, work on it again tomorrow. No big deal, right? Muscles just aren't ready to let go yet. Remember, you can apply as much pressure as you want, and it really is just going to be what your body needs in that moment. From there, you can come up and do the front of your hip. So where your hip creases when you bend your leg, we're going to call this your hip flexor. It's kind of a slang term, but let's just call it that for the moment. But you can come right up into there, work that with your stick as well. Okay? So remember, the stick is going to be a little less aggressive than a foam roller might be, because you can control how much pressure you put, and also you're really limited to your upper body strength because you can only apply so much pressure, right? So if the stick isn't quite doing it for you, then the foam roller would be your next option. Now, I find that with my clients, this is probably the most intense feelings that people get from foam rolling. And this is either what turns them on or off from foam rolling, because this area is very trigger happy and it sends you to that point of you're wondering, is it too painful or am I just on the edge? Okay, so we're going to take the quad in sections. We're actually going to start at the top at that hip flexor area. So right where the hip bends when you bring your knee up. Okay? So if I lay evenly on my foam roller, I have my weight evenly distributed between both legs, both hips, the pressure is not going to be as great. If I lift one hip up off the foam roller, I now have placed the majority of my body weight into that other hip flexor. Okay, so that's going to be a little more intense. So that's option 1 as to how you can change what you're feeling with your myofascial release. Now, in this position, we can also go a little bit more, roll a little bit more to the side, and there's still some meaty area there that you can work on. All right, so it's just a little bit to the outside of that hip flexor area that we talked about, moving towards the glute. So just feel it. Notice we're taking nice short passes to keep the shoulder safe. All right, once I finish here, I feel like I've gotten everything that I can get. Then I'm going to move my arms forward so that I can keep my shoulders safe. And now I'm working the very top part of my quadriceps. So just below where the hip creases or the hip flexes, I'm now nice short passes. Notice as I come forward and back, I could very well make this a very long pass like so, but that puts a lot of stress on my shoulders. So I'm keeping it short to keep my shoulders safe in this position. Now, once I feel like I'm not feeling anything in this area anymore, I'm going to go ahead, pull my elbows forward, and work the next section of my quads. For most people, the closer they get to their knees, the more sensation they begin to feel. Okay, so just be mindful of that. You're just going to keep working your way down your legs. If you find an area that needs a little bit more attention, you might stay on that a little longer, see if you can get that feeling to dissipate. If not, you just continue on down your leg. I would say not spend any more than a minute on any given section. You could come back to it, if it's not letting go. So just an idea. And then just remember, the closer you get to your knees, you're not going to roll your knees, okay? So only the muscly part above your knees and then up to the hip, all right? So that is foam rolling or myofascial release for the front of your leg.